Bonjour, nous sommes à Cannes. En ce mois d'avril, il fait très beau et c'est le MIPTV, le marché international des programmes de télévision de toutes catégories, de tout genre, Real TV et compagnie. Mais pour nous, évidemment, ce qui nous intéresse, c'est les séries et les comédies. Et puis, il y a ici, évidemment, les producteurs et les vedettes qui sont là pour vendre leurs séries aux chaînes du monde entier, de Kim Cattrall à 50 Cent. Petit florilège.
The first time I saw the first 6 episodes of Sensitive Skin, what I was immediately struck by was how fresh this story was, and the dialogue was, and the relationships were. I'd never seen this character on film, certainly not in television before. And what also attracted me to it was the relationship with the husband. And this was a marriage where they had been married for 30 years, have been married for 30 years, and they love each other. Great years. And a child produced. And this woman going through this marriage, still loving this man, but finding herself dissatisfied with her life. And
it seems inconceivable when you look at me.
Well, I communicated with Courtney all the time through the actual show, and then at points I communicate directly with the talent, like the artists, and kind of troubleshoot little things as we actually go with that. But Courtney really ran the show. She's the boss.
So you mean you're involved in the script, in the casting, you have your...
But yeah, I watched everyone's casting tape, like in the very beginning, because I was like really interested in that process, because I already had like a vision, like who the actual characters were, and then as it started to come together like that, it was perfect. Like when I started to see the actual people, the choices that Courtney actually chose, these people, I didn't actually call the shots on this. This is Courtney's actual show. I just, I came in and facilitated her in ways that she needed.
Harry is a man who's never knew his father, came from a broken home. His mother was killed, and then he was ultimately raised by a foster parent. He had a very brutal childhood. He was abused, not sexually, but physically abused. And so, having been a victim of that, he has now put himself in a position of being one who seeks justice for those who cannot seek justice for themselves. And I think it's a very integral part to who this character is. And obviously in the death of this, the remains of this 12-year-old that is found, that it becomes so personal because of his own experience, and so he's very driven to resolve this, to catch the person who's done this, even though it's an old crime, it's a cold case crime.
I think one of the interesting things is that we as Americans are not, we know a very basic version of our story of independence. It's taught at a very elementary level. And so this goes deeper. There's a lot more ambivalence, and I think that ambivalence also will appeal to, hopefully, other viewers in other countries.
All of these people have really high ambitions, and one of the things we like to say is some people are brilliant visionaries, and some people are footnotes to those visionaries in the history of technology and events in the world. And so some of these people, some of these characters who are ambitious, driven people will be the visionaries, and some people will be the footnotes, and we don't know who's who yet. I don't know. Sometimes the person who ends up being a footnote has a lot more, drama to their story. They're the underdog forever.
It's about a woman whose father was a Zionist gun runner. And he's killed in front of her and her brother, and Andrew plays my brother, when we're kids, and we inherit his company. But we subvert what he was doing so that instead of selling arms, we lay communication cable between Israel and Palestine for cell phones and internet connections in an attempt to begin to broker peace and to lessen the inequality, economic inequality, educational inequality between the two countries. But of course, because it's Israel and Palestine, the US and the UK are involved, and it ends up becoming, MIA and MI6 and CIA and kidnappings and rapes and all sorts of things. But then ultimately, it's about human beings, and having to come to terms with what you actually inherit when you're born onto this earth.